Okay, hello my friends, my family, esteemed colleagues. This video I'm making from a little resort here in the jungle of Peru on river Huallaga, which is a tributary to Amazon River. And I want to address one question that came my way, which was from one of you clients who said that, Darko, how is it possible? I never used to have flu, and I did a protocol, and now after I cleansed, I got flu. So this question basically I answer through my articles and my book. Here I'm gonna make you look at something more beautiful than my face. This is the jungle of Amazon. It's early morning, around 6:37. Okay, so what is this thing about the flu? What is flu? Flu is cleansing. So if you don't have flu, symptoms of flu ever, this means that you are not cleansing. Now, does that mean that you are clean? Well, how can you be clean when you are living in toxic environment, eating toxic food, listening to toxic music, watching toxic movie, having experiences where you are creating toxic emotions? So obviously something is wrong if you're not cleansing. But then again, look at animals. They never have flu, or very seldom. Well, animals do not get affected so much with emotional problems. And emotions are causing way more problems than toxic food. But domestic animals, you can see that they have short lives and they get sick. Why do they get sick? Because they don't cleanse. If you own dog or cat, and if they have opportunity to go into the nature a little bit, they start smelling the green stuff, grass, flowers, whatever, and then oops, they start munching on some of it. Why? Because it has the correct frequency that they know they need for purging. So they purge. Dogs very often do it. My dogs eat correctly, but still, when they come out, they always munch on some grass, and then they either throw up, or you can see the grass coming through stool, loose stool. They trigger cleansing. We need to cleanse. Shamanic healing is through cleansing. You take plants that will cleanse you. Now, since we don't cleanse, whenever we go into mode of tightening ourselves, scared, change of weather, you shrivel, you squeeze your body a little bit, Well, same do the cells, and they release toxins which then have to be eliminated from the blood. So if you can eliminate the cellular garbage, at least partially, it will end up in the blood. Toxic blood creates a necessity for cleansing. But now, if you are low on plasma, low on blood level, then your body is saving water and it will not cleanse. I always mention that first signal of you not having enough water in the body, in a circulation, low on blood, is dark urine. And higher toxicity. If you feel nauseous in the morning, especially in the morning. Why in the morning? Because cells will, if they can cleanse at least a little bit, they'll do it during the night because there is more energy available. And cleansing is energy demanding because you have to make some potassium. So if your body is lacking plasma, not having enough blood, or if you are munching on something toxic that your cells that keeps your cells in tight, shriveled position with the tight membranes, there is no flushing of anything going on. So the toxicity remains in the cells. Blood is low on plasma anyway, so you basically don't cleanse. So not having flu symptoms doesn't mean that you are healthy. I know a lot of vegans that do not have flu, but they have all kinds of other problems. Number one, skin problems. Why skin? Because skin is the third emergency cleansing organ that uses least amount of water. So body uses it, and then as toxins are being expelled, they are polluting, acidifying, especially the area where most of the toxins go out, which is areas where you sweat more, and you get rashes, you get inflammations, you get psoriasis. So why cleansing happens, why all of a sudden, after let's say years of not having any problem with flu, in flu season, feeling extremely healthy, now you do the protocol and all of a sudden something changes in the weather or emotionally, and pow, you get a flu. Well, because cleaner the body, the finer tuned it becomes. If you have an old car that is out of tune, well, it just doesn't run well. And there is no much difference what gasoline you put in there. It basically chuggles along. If you now tune the car, well, it becomes more responsive and it becomes more sensitive to type of fuel that you put in it. Better tuned to certain fuel, the more it is going to show problems if the quality of the fuel goes down. Our body is the same thing. We are electronic robots. So when we are toxic, when things don't work right, this becomes our normal. And we kind of feel okay with it because we don't know better. once when you start cleansing and you start feeling better, well, all of a sudden you start feeling differences. And then when the environment gets toxic, well, your body is now working better, so it reacts and goes in cleansing, especially because if you are following the protocol, then you are hydrated correctly. And your body does not have to waste water, does not have to save water. So anytime it sees some problem with toxicity, it goes into detox. Detox equals flu. Now, you are going to notice that the flu symptoms are not going to be severe. They could be mild. And cleaner your body is, the milder will be symptoms and short lasting. Why? Because body goes into cleanse immediately when problem happens. And because of it, it cleanses faster. So it's very simple explanation to what is going on. I used to have flu almost every 2-3 months. And after I cleansed, then it went to once or twice a year. What you hear, okay, here they are, those are parakeets. Yeah, the sounds of jungle. So as you cleanse and you hydrate, now your body can go into cleansing whenever it feels necessity. Whenever problem occurs, wherever toxic stuff occurs, it goes into cleansing mode. Does not have to waste, doesn't have to save water, doesn't have to save plasma. So don't feel that something is wrong. It is wrong when we don't cleanse. Now, do we have to have all the symptoms of flu? No. You have the symptoms depending on the level of toxicity and where the toxicity is coming from. Very often, we all have toxic emotions, which are emotional energies that are stored in our auric field. And when they cleanse, when we become aware of them, they bubble out and they cleanse, well, you may just get all of a sudden your intestines stop working. You feel bloated, nothing passes, not even gas. You feel like you have a strangled intestines. Then all of a sudden you start burping, and you start passing gas. Well, this is all part of emotional cleanse. And of course, there are medicinal remedies you can use for this purpose. But, you know, here in Amazonian jungle, we use medicine men, shaman, that know what plant to use that has a frequency of the emotion that you are dealing with and helps you cleansing. And cleansing comes through elimination of mucus, elimination of that can make you nauseous, creates diarrhea, could be involved many symptoms. But as you are cleansing and you become cleaner and cleaner, then as emotion comes, then emotion has a particular melody to it. I wouldn't say frequency because there's complex of frequencies, so it's like a melody which will produce certain types of symptoms. So you may all of a sudden just start crying for no reason. You don't know why, but you just feel very sentimental. You feel crying. Well, you are cleansing particular emotional frequency. During our ayahuasca ceremonies, many times people cry, and they feel then later relief. And they even had no clue why they cried. They just felt very emotional and they start crying. So it is important for us to be able to cleanse. And this is why there is a protocol. Protocol that teaches you how to eat correctly so you stop poisoning your body. And it teaches you how to hydrate correctly because the body cannot hold water. Water is not electroconductive. So body will hold, but it will hold only plasma, ionized water. And how we do it? Well, you can do it by structuring it, but the body needs minerals. And it is receiving minerals through salts. And all the salts there are part of our oceans. So, freshly harvested sea salt that has not been refined or manipulated in any way, especially not iodized with this potassium iodide, which is not even absorbable. Well, you use regular salt, sea salt, make your plasma all dilute seawater and drink it. This ensures your body to have enough minerals of ionic value so that it can absorb and hold the water in the body without disturbing the electric conductivity of your blood. And then it will freely cleanse and eliminate any poison that you put into it, including the jab. So it is very important to learn the truth and not being afraid of salt. Salt does not raise blood pressure. This is nonsense. I talk about it often. Don't be afraid of salt. If your blood pressure goes up, it is because of your anxiety, expectation, or your blood cells, your arteries are damaged. They are dry. They lost flexibility, elasticity. They cannot absorb the increases of pressure. They cannot amortize them because they don't expand. And it will take some cleansing before they will, but you can cleanse and you can help your body to reestablish correct circulation. And remember, high blood pressure never killed anybody. Every sport person, individual, in high demanding sport, pressure goes up to the roof because heart is beating hard and with strong contractions. So if blood pressure would be dangerous, well, every sport individual would be in awkward situation doing sports. Yeah, now they are dropping down like flies. Why? Because they have been poisoned through the jab. Okay, so I hope I explained why people are prone more to flu after or during the protocol, because basically they are cleansing and then they become better tuned, more sensitive to a toxin, and since they are well hydrated, they don't have to hold water, so they just go into cleanse. And we have this thing called cellular memory. Once when your body has experienced flu symptoms, well, it radiates particular frequency. And when you come close to another human being, and if that human being is toxic, it may pick up on this frequency that can provoke cleansing type flu in that individual. And this is how it's being transferred through energetic fields. Has nothing to do with any pathogen, because we know that virus does not exist as a pathogen. We are talking about particular frequency of energy. And since we are robots, originally tuned the same way, we sing, dance to the same music, so we will react very similar to particular music. When you listen to it, Charleston, you're gonna dance Charleston. When you listen to a waltz, you are going to waltz. Okay, so this is very simple. So don't be alarmed if you become more sensitive and you have flu every 2-3 months. It just means that you are cleansing, your body responds perfectly, and now responds to frequencies that before did not bother it. Before you were not bothered with it because you are out of tune. Now you are tuning up, tuning up, tuning up. As I mentioned in one of the videos, when I came to the States, in Yugoslavia, listening to a shitty equipment, transistor radios and old-fashioned radios with bulbs. When I came to buy my first stereo, so I was impressed with everything I was hearing, so I could not know what to choose. Everything was great, so I chose stuff by buttons and colors. And then after I listened to it for a while, and then I went back, I said, well, why did I buy that crap when this is so much better? Well, when you're out of tune, you don't realize. So as you tune yourself, you start getting better affiliated. You recognize problems and you correct them. So cleaner you get, the more sensitive to toxicity you are, and your body kicks in a cleansing. And cleansing is usually milder and goes faster. I get flu, but 3-4 days and it's over. Before, I was in a bed for a month. I was with high fever for 2 weeks. Now this doesn't happen. Okay, I hope I answered this question. And have to start packing. Need to return back to Tarapoto. So be well. Love you all.